After 20 days, we finally got our hands on this error version LEGO set. LEGO released this 42141 set on 8 February. That is before McLaren even officially launched their new MCL36 Formula 1 race car, which this set is based on. So why is this an error version, and what exactly is wrong with it? And what's the difference between this set and the real car? Finally, how does it overall performs? Today we will take a deep dive into this set and find out. First, let's take a look at the packaging. Classic black background color with the render of this set at the front. And at the back it shows the sizes of this set and the 2021 real McLaren F1 car. The manual is considerably thick with 381 steps inside. At the beginning, there are 8 pages dedicated to tell the design stories of this LEGO set and the real car. There are 3 pages of stickers. You may want to be careful with these circled ones. If you miss the spot, it may look quite bad. There are 1432 pieces being divided into 11 bags and 4 large steps. Now let's build it. Here we can see the rear suspension design. First the power goes through the differential at the center, then into the drive shafts. Then we can see the pushrod here connects to the upper side of the car alongside the double wishbone suspension arm. Then goes through a shake arm module mimicked by an angle structure, eventually connects to the 2 shocks here. After we finished putting the shocks in place, we can see how it works. This is a pretty classic pushrod suspension design commonly seen on F1 cars. Then there's the brand new 3x19 frame part. Having this part, it will be a lot easier to design the main structure of a relatively large Technic set. We also have a new series of new Technic panels. In fact, there are 6 of them on this F1 car. They are used to replicate the front air splitter, winglets above the wheels, and the side winglets at the rear. Having these parts greatly solved the problem of difficult to build curved designs with Technic parts. And the side profile of this part is the same as the early 24116 part, so it can also be in coordination with the new part. Now we can see the front suspension design. Still we can see the pushrod here connects to the upper side of the car alongside the double wishbone suspension arm, then goes through a shake arm module, eventually connects to the 2 shocks here. The basic structure is the same as the rear suspension. However, according to the official news from McLaren, their new F1 car will be using the rarely seen pull rod suspension instead of the pushrod suspension. So this is a clear error for LEGO. Here we can see the steering linkage. The steering wheel drives 2 8-teeth gears, which then connect to the gear and steering rack at the front. A fairly simple design. However, this combination of 2 8-teeth gears led to the result of the steering wheel and the front wheels can't be centered together. Then there's another new Technic panel. Its side profile is the same as the part 71682, 11946 and 11947 released before, so these parts can be used together to create some great combinations. Alright, after 6 hours of building, we finally finished this McLaren F1 car. First, we have to say that this finished set is really long. 65 centimeters, which is longer than the Lambo Sion and the Bugatti Chiron. So if you are planning to put it on display, you really need to measure the size of your shelf first. Then last see the exterior. Comparing to the new race car McLaren released on 11th February, the overall shape and body lines are well replicated. But the livery of this LEGO set is from the 2021 McLaren F1 car, which is quite different comparing to the new MCL36 prototype car. For the details, the front wing design is quite abstract. Some Technic panels are used to form 3 layers of wings, but the real car has 4 layers of wings. However, we don't think that this should count as a mistake, but rather a limitation from the LEGO parts themselves. Worth mentioning, the new FIA-regulated wheel winglets and wheel cover designs are all well replicated here by LEGO. However, the tires from the Batmobile and Pirelli logo on the wheel cover instead of on the tire wall, which make us feel quite pity. Other designs like the front nose, cockpit, side pods, air intake tunnel and rear wing, all have great resemblance to McLaren's new race car. However, the exposed holes on the sides of the front nose look a bit out of place. As for functionalities, let's check out the suspension. When building it, we mentioned that the 2022 McLaren F1 car uses the uncommon front pull rod and rear pushrod suspension setup. However, on this LEGO car, it uses pushrod at the front and pull rod at the rear, which shows how well the designs and details of new F1 cars are protected, definitely classified info before the official launch. What's more, we can see the exposed V6 engine running when moving the car. Of course, such design doesn't exist on the real car. Then there's the rear spoiler. It has manually adjustable angel to simulate the DRS on the real car. Steering wheel is of course functional, however the front wheels and the steering wheel aren't centered. Alright, let's do a summary. This McLaren's main highlight is the enormous size, which is large enough to serve as a home decor item, and the beautiful looking orange and blue color scheme. Having McLaren's IP is also a strong buff. However, for hardcore F1 enthusiasts, this IP buff from McLaren may become worthless when they find out all those errors. According to our review, we can come to a conclusion that, structurally, LEGO didn't design this F1 car based on the latest MCL36, but rather based on older models from McLaren. Because of that, there are such obvious differences between the brick set and the real car. Of course, we are being quite nitpicky about it when doing the review. After all, this is still a LEGO toy. For most of the casual buyers, they won't get into such details on toys. In fact, LEGO didn't put MCL36 on the packaging, it just says 2022 McLaren F1 team. From another perspective, there's only a 3-day gap between the release of this LEGO set and the new McLaren MCL36 F1 car, so we can see that this is more of a collab or crossover between LEGO and McLaren to create a marketing hype. So it really doesn't matter that much whether the LEGO set fully replicated the design of the real car it represents. That's why the front and rear tires are the same size, and they came straight off the Batmobile, and the Ferrari logos are on the wheel covers instead of the tire wall. In this case, none of those really matters. It's just a toy. But at the end of the video, let's take a look at another MCL36 build designed by a mock builder. This mock set also uses the new parts from LEGO 42114 set. From the outside, we can see that it did a better job of replicating the overall design and features of the MCL36, especially the front nose and side pods, and there are no visible pinholes on the front nose. That's the end of this review. Please subscribe if you would more of our videos, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and let us know in the comments which set you want to see us review. Until then, see you next time.